Nikki Haley is out. That's the headlines. She is toast, burnt toast. Trump won. This is the Super Tuesday results and how this sets a whole chain reaction of events that will cover everything from attempted Trump assassinations to how to get rid of Biden. Theories the Democrats are going to run against us, calling us all white Christian nationalists. You'll see the flow of this whole show is going to go strange. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm an artist. I don't just sculpt with clay and draw and write. I sculpt with the news. First up, these are the results from last night's Super Tuesday. You have Donald Trump is leading with 995 delegates. It says he needs 1,200 to win. So Trump has 995. Nikki Haley only got 89. And Tennessee always goes for Trump very safely in the primary. So states all across the U.S., just a ton of them. I'm not going to go through the whole list of them, but enough to make Trump the nominee free and clear. Now, that triggered Nikki Haley to have to drop out. So she's out. This creates an entire chain reaction of events because Nikki Haley, as you remember, was getting all of the rhino money. The rhino money and the big money was going behind Nikki Haley. And now they have to decide, are they going to pull their money out and wait till 2028? They can't afford to because they can't afford to have another Biden. So they have to hold their nose and support Trump. This will build up Trump's money and his support by that mushy middle that was saying, never Trumper, I'm going for Nikki Haley. Well, now that option's gone. Now, do you want Biden or Trump? They're going to come home to Trump. CNN live updates, Biden and Trump dominate Super Tuesday as Haley exits race. Here's the Washington Post. Election 2024 live updates. Nikki Haley drops out after Trump's Super Tuesday win. New York Times with Haley's departure. The rematch between Biden and Trump is now set. So now we're finally getting to the real game. Trump doesn't have to campaign and call Nikki Haley names. He doesn't have to look over his back at her. He can just turn the fire cannon on his number one foe, and that is Biden. More headlines, Washington Post. Mitch McConnell endorses Trump after years of acrimony between the two men. That was 11 minutes ago. Guys, this is huge news. I know there's a bunch of people out there, guys to my right and on my right, that just go, we hate Mitch McConnell. I don't care what Mitch McConnell does. Don't even mention his name. No, guys. Mitch McConnell, even if you disagree with him, and I do disagree with him on almost everything, even if you think he's corrupt, and I think he's corrupt on almost anything, it is so important that he just endorsed Trump. Huge. And by the way, Mitch McConnell, if you want to thank the one guy, this is before Trump ever got involved in the politics. If you want to thank the one guy that kept Merrick Garland from being on the Supreme Court for life, for freaking life, it's Mitch McConnell that kept Garland and just ripped him off. Never gave an excuse. Just said, we're not going to go with a Supreme Court pick. We're going to wait till after the election. And then they put Gorsuch on. So I'm just saying, that's all Mitch McConnell. Okay. Doesn't make him great. Don't want to hear it. You guys can all have your little conspiracies. Okay. Mitch McConnell just endorsed Trump. What's that mean? This, I believe, is entirely due to Nikki Haley dropping out. Remember, Mitch McConnell is stepping down and retiring. He's handing the baton to Trump. This is huge. It gives permission to all of the Washington Republicans and the money machine to put their GOP money into Trump instead of holding it out and throwing their little anti-Trump tantrum. So the most significant win, and the only thing Trump needs to secure this whole thing, he needs to get the never Trumpers on his side. And so he's just now made the biggest inroads. Trump didn't have to change and go over to the rhinos. Trump stayed where he is, and the rhinos are coming to Trump under the tent. This is significant in ways you guys can't even imagine. This is huge in that the Republican Party is changing before your eyes, and it's going MAGA. There was always a question. Oh, Trump's a great man. He's a great candidate. But it doesn't mean there's still a divide. There's Trump, and there's the Republican Party, and the rhinos, and the squish, and the middle, and the da-da-da, and the never Trumpers. No, guys. Now there's only MAGA. Mitch McConnell endorses Donald Trump for president after years of frosty ties. CNBC, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell endorses Trump for president. Take the win, guys. This is huge. Here's the Hill. Democrats ready to hit the panic button on Trump-Biden race. Now it's the Democrats' time. Now that it's Trump versus Biden, the Democrats are ready to push the panic button. That is, they're going, we are screwed with Biden. We're done. Panic time. Now, what will the Democrats do if they panic? Number one, they could assassinate Biden. Now that, Doug, that's so irresponsible to say. You tell me, are Democrats above it? Would they not put a pillow on him? Pay Hunter a few $1 million to put a pillow on dad like in Gladiator? One thing they could do is get rid of Biden, and then they could bring someone more popular in and try to beat Trump. So that's one thing they could do if they went into panic mode enough. Number two thing they could do is get Biden to drop out. If they can convince him and Jill somehow, they could say, look, we're going to throw your son Hunter Biden in jail if you don't drop out. We're going to reveal this dossier on all your crimes, Biden. We're going to turn on you if you don't drop out. We're going to have a doctor give a psych evaluation of you, and they're going to say that you are incompetent, decrepit, and gone, and on paper that no one should vote for you if you don't get out. The Democrats could do that to Biden. One other, so they could bring in someone more popular and they could have their pick. They could try a flyer with Gavin Newsom. We've talked about it. By the way, the news is Michelle Obama has said definitively, no, she will not, zero won't run 2024. We've run these. I might have to do a video on that one, because this episode's going to be long, guys. I hope you like this stuff I'm throwing down, because you're going to stay here in my studio for a long time. Take a seat, subscribe, leave a comment. You're part of this community. I'm giving you the big picture news. Other big picture news is they take out Trump. They tried with a lawsuit. They haven't tried with a bullet. Would your government do that to him? I don't think so. I don't know if we're as evil as we're going to assassinate, that people are going to start assassinating Trump or Biden. I don't know if we're that evil. I know there's conspiracy theorists out there. They believe we're that evil. We've always been that evil. They believe that there were 2 shooters on Kennedy. I don't believe any conspiracies, period. Almost period. You know, it has to be pretty bad for me to really believe a conspiracy. Okay. Even Trump said he doesn't think Epstein committed suicide. Trump said, I doubt it. I think he had a lot of reasons to kill himself. And Trump would know. He had the dossier. Okay. He was president. Conspiracy theorists still go, I don't care. I don't care. He committed suicide. I don't care. Okay. You always, when everything is a black helicopter and everything is a UFO and everything is the Rothschilds and the Jews and 9/11 was an inside, when everything's a conspiracy, you know, I don't have an argument for you. I'm sorry if I'm offending a whole lot of my audience here. I don't want to do that, but I just want to say, what will the Democrats do in a panic? I think there's a much more likely thing they would do than either of those truly evil, truly illegal things. What would the Democrats do? They lie. Remember the lie about Russia? So expect that, what's called a black swan event or some kind of a October surprise. That is, with the Hunter Biden laptop and Russia, they were able to lie long enough knowing that they own the media. This is the kind of thing that only the Democrats would pull off, because they know that they own the media and they only need to keep a lie, whopper of a lie, going until election day. And then after that, they can go, oh yeah, you caught us lying, you know, bad, crazy us, can't believe it. So just picture, think of some kind of a new lie that they can tell about Trump and try and push it on the American people and make it the big news. They're going to try it with making him an insurrectionist. They're going to try it with saying he stole the election. They're going to try it with saying, he is colluding with Russia again. Those lies don't quite seem big enough. It has to be a new lie. It has to be something brand new. Like they found, a human head in his bed, and just run with that. Go, guys, we're going to flat out accuse him of murder. We're going to roll this out to the American people. Say, look, we have photos, we have AI, we have video, we have confirmation. All these FBI people agree with us and told us they found a severed human head in Trump's bed. He's a murderer. And we're going to roll this out on ABC, NBC, CBS, all media outlets. All of the internet agrees. The FBI agrees. Everyone agrees. All these never Trumpers even agree. Liz Cheney and all these reasonable people agrees. Brooks, David French agrees that he is probably a murderer, like something like that. And the rest of us are just going to go, boy, it's October already. Okay. So those I'm just saying, expect it, because are the Democrats above lying? They might be above murder, but they may not be above telling just a massive, completely made up, blatant lie that they think polls well. So that's what I expect will happen. Something crazy. They're going to try to fly it up the flagpole. And in the case of the Hunter Biden laptop, it worked. And Russia, it worked. Trump lost. And their lie, ran the day. And then later it got reversed. And they go, we don't care. We did it to win an election. We don't care that we caught lying, that we've completely undermined every institution, including the FBI, embarrassed ourselves. We don't care. Okay. Here's Politico. Biden's plan for Trump: bury him with campaign cash. So this is where the funding comes in. All of the rich big tech, Hollywood, globalists, eat the bugs, Soros, they're going to bury him with cash. Remember, the only thing they can do with their money is market lies, because these lawsuits aren't going to work. So they can destroy Trump's money. Okay. They cannot destroy what you and I are going to do at the ballot box. So they're going to try and outbeat him with commercials and float up one of those big lies. Okay. And so I hope you can see the flow. And here comes the final flow. News about Kenneth Chesebro. This is one of the 18 defendants, along with Trump, on the RICO charges with Fani Willis. Here's Kenneth Chesebro. Politico. Docs reveal new details of Trump's lawyer fringe push to overturn the 2020 election. So here, this is the press. They all agree. They all released this on the same day. Here's 3 articles saying that this was Trump's plan was always to go through Chesebro with his nutty idea of trying to overturn the election using alternate electors, and Trump tried to get Pence to do it, and he wouldn't do it. So I'm just saying, when I see this headline go across all the news, this is one of the attempts the Democrats are trying to say, is this going to be the story we can get to stick? Is that Trump tried to steal 2020? Here's NBC News. That was Politico. NBC News. Wisconsin fake elector settlement offers new details on the strategy by Trump lawyers, that the strategy was to steal the election. Here's MSNBC. New emails show Trump stealing the 2020 election was always plan A. That was just from 5 hours ago. That's what I mean by, that's me making my case that these are the stories they're going to try. They're going to find one that needs to be sexy enough to go national. They need an affair. They need a murder. They need something big, because merely stealing an election, they realized over the last couple of years, it's not enough. Insurrection, it wasn't enough. A riot at the Capitol wasn't enough. Has to be bigger, has to have a P tape, or has to have the FBI, or has to be him getting in bed with Russia. Big. Think big media.
These latest poll numbers are not necessarily showing a lot of good news for the current president.
Okay, I pulled this video, in case you can't tell, from Benny Johnson.
No, it's showing a similar story that we've been seeing over the course of the last year. He is losing ground with some key constituencies. Take a look on the screen here. You can see the New York Times poll there on the left compared to the 2020 exit polls. Now, one is a poll and one is voters coming out of the voting booth telling us what they did. But nonetheless, those under 30, Biden has a 12-point advantage in this poll. Well, it was twice that in the 2020 election.
Everyone go subscribe to Benny Johnson. He's a great source for news. But this is an actual CNN thing where they're saying, look, The New York Times poll last time, these are under 30, the youth, they were breaking toward Trump in 2020 plus 24. Right now, they're only plus 12. So these are the places that traditionally hate Trump. Okay, the youth. It was plus 24 for Biden, and now they're plus 12 for Biden. So they're half. Biden's getting half from his normal supporters. We're going to go down this whole list.
Among female voters, Biden is tied with Trump in this New York Times poll this weekend. He had a 15-point advantage.
To me, this is the biggest number because women are 50% of the electorate or more. Women vote more than men. So for them to go from plus 15 for Biden in 2020 versus they're tied today is the largest shift of millions of votes. Millions of votes. No amount of cheating in the world can make up for that. No amount of money and brainwashing in the world can make up for that. It is basically, I think it's 15% of women, if I'm getting this right, have changed from Biden in 20 to Trump today. This election's over. Let's go to the black vote.
Black voters, he's got a 43-point advantage. That's substantial, except in the 2020 election, it was a 75-point advantage.
What has happened between then and now with the black vote, not buying Biden's freebies, giveaways, basically they saw what he did on the border. And it looks like he's lost about, I'd say that looks like 32% of the black vote. 32% of the black. Now the black vote is huge for Biden. So tell your brothers and sisters, guys, do me a favor and put this link all over the internet. Put this on Twitter, put this on your Facebook, send this email around, but try and post it somewhere in the public because that builds this channel up. So tell your friends.
And then if you look at non-white voters without a college degree, you see he's got a 6-point advantage over Trump, but that was a 46-point advantage in 2020.
That's the election. That's the key big troubled areas for Trump last time that Biden has just collapsed. He's in prolapse. He's so old and decrepit. And the people, it's mostly to be blamed on the border. Here's the other strategy that the Democrats keep trying. This is the old white Christian nationalists are evil.
The one thing that unites all of them, because there's many different groups orbiting Trump, but the thing that unites them as Christian nationalists, not Christians, by the way, because Christian nationalists is very different, is that they believe that our rights as Americans, as all human beings, don't come from any earthly authority. They don't come from Congress. They don't come from the Supreme Court. They come from God.
This Heidi Perziblia, whatever her name is on MSNBC, dumb. She goes, we believe that our rights come from God. By the way, it was Reagan that said our rights come from not God, not from the government. And you'll see in all of our documentation by our founders, we believe that all men are created equal. We're endowed by our creator with certain inalienable rights. They are not endowed by your government or even by law. This lady needs to go read a book. But I would just say go repent before the Lord because you're psycho. You hate Christians. You hate Christ so much, and you hate his image bearers so much that you spew these lies about them. Sorry, lady, got nothing for you. But I do hope the Democrats keep going with that stupid strategy. Here's another stupid one. This is I'm going to go down to this lower email. This is Mark Elias, who's the biggest guy who promotes election fraud. So he's the one who was against Kerry Lake. He's been against Trump. He's just the biggest scammer for opening up the elections. He doesn't want you to ever have to have signature verifications. He wants illegals to be able to vote. Here's Mark Elias. He tweeted, in a city of 700,000 people, Donald Trump got 676 votes in the GOP primary, a tough jury pool. Now, what's he saying? That Nikki Haley, by the way, she won Washington, D.C. So here's Nikki Haley wins D.C. primary, but her first victory in GOP nominating race. And Mark Elias is saying this is so great that even terrible Nikki Haley, who's horrible, beat Trump in Washington, D.C. And then he concludes and he's cheering and jeering, going, you know what's great? you'll never get a fair jury pool. And that's just what makes America great. Mark Elias is saying, I love that Trump will never get justice, that this will be a politically biased. This is no different, by the way, than the white people in the South back before when it was unfair, before civil rights. You'd have a black person come in, just get nailed for murder, and he was being tried before a jury of all white elite people of the opposite party. And guess what happened? They found him guilty every time. By the way, the beloved Miss Sample and I just watched In the Heat of the Night. It got Best Picture in 1967 with Sidney Poitier, and why a black guy couldn't get justice in Mississippi. And Mark Elias is championing that kind of stuff. He just doesn't recognize it when it's not about black people. And then here's Sean Parnell, Dem election attorney and Russia hoax financer, that's Mark Elias, is gloating about the fact that it's impossible for Trump and other conservatives to get a fair trial in DC. Again, these people would throw you and your entire family in the gulag and not think twice about it. And that is true. Here's another one, similar one on that same Mark Elias, saying that Trump will not get a good jury pool in DC. And this is a lawyer, Mark Elias, loves it. And then here's Stephen Miller. Imagine bragging so openly that the system is rigged and that the constitutional right to an impartial jury is being so viciously and willfully violated by Jack Smith, Chutkin, and Merrick Garland. I love that it's being called out. Guys, they can do all these shenanigans they want. Justice and the people and the vote and God has a different plan. Keep the faith, keep your hope, keep your powder dry. I'm Doug in exile.